Right, so picture this. I'm at this trendy coffee place, right? It's one of those spots where the air smells like freshly ground beans and the vibe is just buzzing with energy. You know, the kind with exposed brick and enough beard wax to grease a bicycle chain. The baristas look like they moonlight as indie rock musicians. Anyway, I'm next in line, and this bloke in front of me is ordering. He's taking his sweet time, mind you. He's all double shot, half calf, soy latte, extra foam with a sprinkle of cinnamon. It's like he's reciting a spell from a wizard's cookbook. Blimey, mate, just have a cuppa. I mean, how complicated can a coffee order get? But the best part, when the barista asks his name, he goes, "It's David. I mean Daniel." Classic Freudian slip. You could see the panic in his eyes. I swear his subconscious was screaming, "You're not fooling anyone, Dave." The whole cafe seemed to pause for a second. Anyway, it got me thinking about this whole subconscious thing. It's like a hidden puppet master pulling the strings. Like, what is this mysterious force lurking beneath the surface? And why is it so obsessed with embarrassing us in public? It's like it has a mind of its own. It's like having a mischievous imp glued to your brain, whispering things like, "Trip over that rug," or "Tell your boss he looks like a tired walrus." And you just have to wonder, what's next on its agenda? So, this subconscious mind, right? It's like this hidden part of you that's always working, even when you're not aware of it. It's not some mystical voodoo thing. It's actually quite straightforward. Think of it as a super efficient behind-the-scenes manager. Imagine it as your brain's personal assistant, but one who never takes a break and has a weird sense of humor. It's always on the job. It's constantly taking in information, filing away memories, and running the show behind the scenes. It's like a super organized librarian. Like when you're driving and suddenly realize you've been daydreaming for the past 5 minutes. That's your subconscious at work. Yeah, that's your subconscious taking the wheel. It's like an autopilot mode for your brain. Don't worry, it's a surprisingly good driver. It knows what it's doing, even if you don't. The thing is, this subconscious manager of yours, it's got its own agenda. It's always working in the background. It's all about keeping you safe, happy, and for some reason prone to awkward social interactions. It's like a protective but quirky friend. It does this by influencing your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in ways you're not even aware of. It's always pulling the strings. It's like a puppet master, except instead of strings, it uses embarrassing childhood memories, and that one time you accidentally called your teacher Mum. It's always there, working its magic. Now, you might be thinking, Ricky, how does this invisible imp actually affect my life? Well, mate, let me tell you, it's everywhere. Remember that time you bumped into your ex while you were wearing your grubby sweatpants and a stained t-shirt? Yeah, that wasn't just bad luck, that was your subconscious saying, "Time for a healthy dose of humiliation." Or, how about those weird dreams you have where you're being chased by giant talking vegetables? That's your subconscious trying to process your emotions and anxieties in the most bizarre way possible. It's like a therapy session directed by Tim Burton. But it's not all bad, you know. Your subconscious is also responsible for those aha moments of brilliance, those sudden bursts of creativity, and that uncanny ability to always pick the slowest line at the supermarket. Okay, maybe not that last one. Now, I'm not a psychologist, but I did once spend an afternoon reading Freud in a hammock, so I consider myself somewhat of an expert. It was a sunny day, the kind that makes you feel like anything is possible, and there I was, diving into the depths of the human mind. And let me tell you, this subconscious stuff is wild. It's like discovering a hidden room in your house that you never knew existed, filled with all sorts of quirky and mysterious things. Did you know that your subconscious can actually influence your physical health? It's true. Your mind and body are more connected than you might think. Stress, anxiety, all that jazz, it can manifest in all sorts of weird and wonderful ways. Sometimes it's like your body is trying to send you a message, but it's speaking in riddles. It's like your body's way of saying, hey, maybe chill out with the caffeine and existential dread, yeah? Maybe take a moment to breathe and just be. And then there's the whole concept of subliminal messaging, which is basically just a fancy way of saying sneaky advertising. It's like a magician's trick, but for your brain, Apparently, our subconscious minds are like sponges, soaking up all sorts of information without us even realizing it. Every billboard, every ad, every little thing we see can leave an imprint. That's why they banned those subliminal messages in the first place. They realized just how powerful and potentially manipulative they could be. Imagine walking down the street and suddenly getting an overwhelming urge to buy a lifetime supply of pickled onions because some marketing guru decided to flash it on a screen for a millisecond. It's both fascinating and a little bit terrifying, don't you think?